All right, so now we're going to take this one side of the Allspark and we're going to generate all 4 other sides from it. It'll be super fast and easy. And we can do that because we made the sides different. Notice how this side has a missing piece of wood here, an opening, and this is a piece of wood there. So they'll kind of merge with each other all the way around. So what I'm going to do this is I'm going to hit the M for move, and I'm going to select the object I want to move. So I'm going to select this object. And now I can actually come down here and do create a copy. Now, the mistake that happens here a lot is that instead of move object, instead of moving the entire body, you have just faces selected. So if I have just the face selected and I go to move it, well, I'll move in that direction. I just pull it and I can move it, but it actually just takes that face and stretches the face out. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to choose, no, I want the entire body. I want to move the entire thing. So I'm going to select the entire body. I'm going to create a copy. And then I'm not going to use this center move because it's going to be really hard to control how it moves. I'm going to use the arrow. So I want to move this to about yay. And then I'm going to rotate this side around. So I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees this way. So now I have the right side of the box. And I'm not going to be worried too much. I might position it a little bit better than that. Just kind of get it kind of close-ish. And that's good just like that. I'll do an alignment tool to get it right on. So I'm going to click OK. Now I want to align this one with that one. So what I'm going to do is come up here to my Align tool, go Modify, Align. And if I click on these 3 dots, I can click on Pin to Taskbar. I use the Align tool a lot, so I pin it to a toolbar, and now it's up here for me to use. So I'm going to hit the Align tool. Now, the first thing I click on is a thing that's going to move, and then the second thing I'm going to click on is a thing it's moving to. So I actually want, I can align a lot of different things. So the easiest thing to do for me right now is I'm going to go from this face. So I want this surface to line up with this outside surface. Click. And that's perfect. Now they're perfectly flat. The problem is it needs to move back the other way now, right? So I have to line twice. One for moving it in and then one moving it to the side. So here I'm going to say I want to move from, I want this surface of the tab to be even with this surface. Now when I select the surfaces here, I want to make sure I don't select, let me do that again. I don't want to be selecting a point like this. I want to select somewhere off here in the middle of the gray because that's just going to make the 2 surfaces line up without trying to make points overlap each other. So I click that one and then somewhere out here in the gray and boom, I'm good. Okay. Now real quick, I'll just show you what happens if you hit the Align tool but you use points instead of just the surface. So I'll go here and I'm going to grab this middle point and then I'm going to come here and grab this middle point. And notice that it aligns the actual points at that point. It actually moved it down. I'm going to click OK. It actually moved it down to where the middles are lined up. We don't want to do that. So we just grab anywhere in the kind of surface. It'll just line the surfaces up without having to line the points up. So I just Control Z and undid that. Hopefully you never even did that. So now I'm going to repeat that process for the other 2 walls. So this time I'm going to go to this one. Yeah, that looks good. I'm going to do this one next. So I'm going to do move, select my body, create a copy, drag it sideways, rotate it around. Ooh, that was pretty good. Look how good I did. Look how well I did. Just get lucky sometimes. And then drag it. Oh man, that might be right on. And then I'm going to click OK. Now, when I look at this, it looks like it's pretty good, but what I'm going to do is still do the align move because if it's off even by a millimeter, it's going to cause all kinds of problems. So I'm just going to make sure it's perfect by just aligning it. So Align tool, I'm going to be aligning this one to that one, right? So the new one to the old one. So from this one, and I want to align this face with this face of the tab because they're supposed to be together right there. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to align the outside of this one to the face of that one. And I'm going to click OK. Now I'm sure that those are exactly the right size. So I'm going to do another move command. And I'm going to say, yep, this one. And I'm going to create a copy. And I'm going to slide it. Oh, nope. I'm going to rotate so I can grab the arrow. I'm going to slide it over. Right about yay. And then I'm going to tip it with this one. And I'm looking for the number here. 90 degrees is what I'm looking for. 90-degree turn. And then I'm going to grab this one and drag it over-ish. And I got close. That's okay. And I'm going to click OK. And now I just do it to my align tool. So I'm going to take it. Remember, I'm going from the new one to the old one. So from the new one, sorry. And I'm going to click on where it should line up. It should line up with the end of this tab. Okay. And then new one first. And then to the old one. And now it just lined up. And if everything is a perfect world, my final corner should already be lined up. Yep, look at that. Nice. Now we've got to make a top and a bottom and it is ready to rock and roll and be broken down. So to make the top, it's pretty straightforward. What I'm going to do is basically draw a rectangle, sketch from this corner to this corner, and then just extrude that sketch up, and then I'll use the combine feature to cut it. So let's do that real quick. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to create a sketch. I've got a couple options. I can create the sketch. Let me show you from the angle on this face right here, and then extrude the one thickness up. Or I can start on the top edge on one of these top of the tabs, and then create my rectangle and extrude down. So it just depends on which way I extrude and which I select. I'm actually going to select this one right here because it gives me the far corner of my box. So I'm going to draw it here and extrude up. Now I need to know where the other corner is. So I'm going to draw my rectangle from this corner up to this corner, but I won't be able to actually click that corner unless I project it onto there because it wasn't part of my initial sketch. So I'm going to push the P for project, and then I'm going to zoom in on the corner here and just grab that. Whoop, that's the whole thing, just that one corner. I can grab the whole thing, doesn't matter. As long as I have the corner somehow in there, I can do the whole thing or not. Click OK. Now, I'm going to come here, I'm going to grab a rectangle from that corner. And notice that now it's able to actually find that corner and snap to it. Come on in, Craig. All right, so now I've got my rectangle. Yep, I've got my rectangle drawn. And now I just need to extrude that. So I'm going to hit E for extrude, and I'm going to click. Now notice I have two things drawn. I have this main rectangle I drew, but in here there's this minor rectangle that was part of what I created my sketch plane on. So make sure to include that as well. And then I'm going to extrude this up a thickness. Now it thinks I want to make a cut because I have overlapping parts, but I'm going to say, nope, I want to do a new body. And I'm going to say, okay. Now that looks like the top has been cut. Like it's like it has all the joints in it. But if I do a quick move and I just grab this and I move it up, I can see that my top has nothing cut into it. So that's what we'll do next. We'll cut that into it. To do a cut, we're going to use the combine tool. I know combine seems to make things come together, but combine also has a cut feature to it. So the target body is the thing that we're going to be cutting or combining. So we're going to want to cut this top piece. And instead of join, we're going to choose cut. And the tool bodies are the things that we're using to cut with. So we want to use this to make a cut. And you can see now, all of a sudden, you can see the shape in there that it's going to cut. This one, this one, this one, and that one. And now you can kind of see what the shape is going to cut into it. Now, one mistake you might make is you click OK right now. What's going to happen is all your sides will disappear. So to keep the sides there, I'm going to say, hey, I want to keep my tool bodies. I want to keep them after I do the cut. So I do that and I say OK. And now there it is. So now when I move the top, I use the M key for move. I can move it up and see, okay, perfect. It's just what I want it to be. Cancel that. It goes back down. Now I'm going to repeat the same thing on the bottom. So I'm going to go to the bottom. I'm going to choose, this time I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to choose one of these, the tops of one of these tabs and extrude myself. I think I am at least. can't tell what it's on. Oh, my computer is so slow today. There it is. I got the top of that tab. When I do that though, notice what, I don't have the corner marked yet. So if I go here and I try to go on the corner, it's not, when you see that little black thing, that's for just the corner of the rectangle, not the actual corner of the box. So when I did it this way, because I didn't have, my sketch plane wasn't part of the corner, it was this one right here. That's what I'm looking for, is that open square. That tells me I've grabbed onto something on my sketch. I'm going to need to project both corners that I'm going to go to. I'm going to project that corner, and I'm going to project that corner. And once I've done that, I'm going to say OK. And that the project tool was the P button. And then I'm going to come up here and just grab a rectangle, go from that corner down to that corner. Now I get that nice blue square without the black line in the middle of it. And then I'm ready to extrude. But this time, notice that I'm on the top of the box. So I need to extrude down instead of up. I'm going to extrude. Cancel. There it is. I'm going to extrude that. And notice I missed that little one there too, right? So I want to say I extrude that. Oh, I'm not in the extrude mode. Extrude, no wonder. That one and that one. And this time I'm going to extrude down. So right now the arrow is up. So to go the opposite direction, I want to go negative thickness. And that brings me down. Now it thinks I want to cut, but I'm going to tell it, no, I actually want to new body this. And click OK. I'm wondering, maybe I didn't grab that one. No, got it. Okay. Again, if I do a quick move, I can see here that this has not been cut yet. So the next thing I want to do is I want to cut it. So I'm going to go to the Combine tool. I'm going to click on my target body thing I want to cut. And then I'm going to click on my tool body. So I want to cut with this, with this, oops, with this one, and that one. And I've got all four of them. I'm going to make sure Keep Tools is checked and click OK. And my friends, that is it. We just did the main parts of the Allspark. So in the next video, what I'll do is I'll show you how to thoughtfully break them down into a very specific pattern. It will help if you keep it all organized well. That way, the faces of the Allspark are on the correct faces. Awesome.